Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Angel Santiago. I am joined with Tanner Nowell. This is the Esports Broadcasting Network, a sim racing media company. We are live from the beautiful Poconos in Pennsylvania for the RICMOTECH High Performance Truck Series. Tanner, how are we doing today? Man, I am excited. We took a week off. It's been 2 weeks since we've seen these fantastic drivers laying it down, and we're back at it again this week in a very tough track, the Tricky Triangle. All right, looks like here actually, Tanner, give me just a moment here. Having one slight issue with our Facebook feed from the looks of it. Alrighty. Alright, we are good to go. This is, again, the RICMOTECH High Performance Truck Series, live from Pocono. Race number 6 of this series. We are at Pocono Raceway. It's 2.5 miles. It is a nice, cool 73 degrees outside, 42% humidity. We've got a track temp of 108 degrees. It's going to be a hot one today on that track. Yes, it's going to be, excuse me, very, very exciting here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get ready to go over your grid for today's race. Once it decides it wants to come up here. Come on now. Nope, that is not what I'm asking you for. There we go. All right, looks like Jeremy Clifton is going to be starting on pole for you today in the number 51 truck from GT Motorsports, qualifying with a blazing fast 54.766. Ray Lane in the number 44. That's a new face for us here in the truck series. He's qualifying here in second place. Ed Morris qualified in third. Kyle Knapp in fourth. Nicholas Froman, no surprise to see him up front in the fifth position. Alan Hilton in sixth. Eric Driggins in seventh. Michael Thwaites is in eighth. John Sterling in ninth. And Mike Rominger is in the 10th position. Jordan McGraw's in 11th. Wallace Boyce is in 12th. James Holzer in 13th. Don Milkowicz is in 14th. David Elliott in 15th. Oh, there we go. We just jumped to the race session, which is why that's showing now. My apologies, everybody there. Don Milkowicz is in the 14th position. David Elliott in 15th. Brian Senesac is in 16th. Christian DeBauer in 17th. Mike Franklin down in 18th. Starting 19th is what we like to call here our... Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Tyler just forgot the nickname I gave you. He was our Paul Wolf there. He's our Paul Wolf of the league. He always likes to extend his green flag runs quite a bit. And Tanner, we know Pocono is a place where trying to make it on fuel can be a big one. Yep. That is your field. Absolutely. We are getting ready to start this one here. You see all the drivers lined up on pit lane. We're starting to come off. Your pole sitter, Jeremy Clifton. You know, we've got quite a long pace lap around here. Let's bring Jeremy in for a little bit of a pre-race interview. How about that? Hey, Jeremy, this is Angel and Tanner in the Esports Broadcasting Network podcast room. You got us? Jeremy, we figured we can bring you in a little quickly here for a pre-race interview. We don't get to do these much. You're starting on pole today. What's the plan for tonight? Speaking of fuel, what's the fuel window looking like for you guys tonight? Okay, well, there you go, everybody. Looks like even our pole sitter not 100% sure. And it looks like you got somebody newer to the series starting to your right. Does that put any worry to you? All right, Jeremy, you're pulling in. You're getting ready to start this race. We'll send you back. Good luck, and we'll see if we're talking to you at the end of this one. All right, thank you very much, Tanner. Tanner handling all of this background stuff that I don't know how to do quite so well. Here we are. We're getting ready to go green. Green flag is in the air. We are live from Pocono Raceway for the RICMOTECH Truck Series. Jeremy Clifton gets the exact jump that he was hoping for, and I think we've got a caution. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh, look at the carnage. Oh, these guys are wrecking from moving forehand here. Let's... Tire... Yeah, not something that you normally would see, but that's exactly what we see there. Looks like this bottom lane is stacked up just a little bit. Oh, yeah, Yeah... James Holzer... Yeah... Yeah, from the looks of it here, the 3's got a little bit of room in front of him to the 21 of Eric Driggins. So the three of John Sterling maybe just didn't get the start. Was trying to give some more room, and the 34 behind him, Jordan McGraw, had kind of just nowhere to go, and everybody behind him stacking up. And you can see this is going to be worse for Tyler Dohar back there because he had the most room between him and somebody else. So that's one of those things that you kind of risk when you try to give yourself more room, is almost giving yourself too much damage because of the room you have. And I mean, just look at what it does to this outside lane. Just huge wreck, multiple drivers. And do remember, there are no faster pairs in this race. Yeah, we're seeing... Yeah, definitely looks like that's the situation right now. They're trying to catch a pace car. So while they catch a pace car, and we got some longer laps here under yellow flag, we're going to go ahead and give you guys the first of our commercials thanks to the RICMOTECH high-performance sim racing equipment.
RICMOTECH high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, RICMOTECH has you covered. hundreds of name brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. That was your RICMOTECH high performance sim racing equipment commercial. Thanks to the RICMOTECH company here putting on the title sponsorship for this one of these extreme motorsports leagues. So pretty exciting stuff. We get to have here. Surprising caution here to start the race. Usually these guys are pretty overall clean. So we'll have to see how this one continues here on out. Oops, wrong one. Oh, that is actually really awesome. Yeah, you're right. That is awesome. I love it. All right, these drivers are lined up side by side here. Ed Morse did end up taking second place away from Ray Lane before that caution came out. So Ed, having started in third, will be restarting in the second position. We'll see if he can't get himself a better jump and stay up alongside Jeremy Clifton once they get ready to go down to turn one. You know, these corners are every bit so difficult in their own way. Tanner, I guess I'll probably wait until after we ask, but start thinking here, which one of these corners is your favorite and which one do you hate the most? As I say, we are green once again. Jeremy Clifton with a nice big jump on the field here. He's going to be cleared for first, cuts right in front of Ed Morse. It'll stay close, but he's going to have the lead as they get ready to drive down here into turn number one. You see Ray Lane, though, he's got a great run as they drive in deep. Can he drive in hard enough and slide up in front of Jeremy Clifton? I think he will. We've got a new leader today. Ray Lane in the number 44 Ford F-150 is to the front. Yeah, Jeremy Clifton making easy work there of Ray Lane going into that tunnel turn as they go here to the very, very flat turn 3. They're coming off. They got a long stretch down the front stretch here, the longest in all of NASCAR. You need to have yourself a good working truck coming off of that turn if you want to make up any positions in tonight's race. Well, you know, Clifton did say he was not planning on burning up his stuff early on in this race. He said that, you know, he'll try to stay in the front for as long as he could, but so it looks like Jeremy's just kind of playing that game of saving his tires because Pocono's a track that will really, really eat away at that right front if you're not careful with it. Well, as you said before, no surprise and no stranger to seeing him in the front. Your winner 2 weeks ago and your most recent winner here in the RICMOTECH Truck Series is Nicholas Vroman, trying to make up some time as he's trying to pass Ed Morris while also holding off Jeremy Clifton and the guy who finished second to him 2 weeks ago, Kyle Knapp, in that fifth position, number 42 Ford F-150. These Fords looking strong today. We got a couple, and currently your leader, Ray Lane, is in one of those Fords. And Jeremy Clifton, that last time around, talk about wanting to save his stuff. He just put down the fastest lap of the race by any one of these drivers. Well, you can see the 51 there kind of riding a little bit lower than those trucks in front of him, behind him, just trying to make sure that if the 42 were to get himself a run, which he did have, that he'd be able to kind of throw a block. You see the 51 get down onto the rumble stretch. That'll make him slide up the racetrack off of turn 3. He will hold in front of the number 42, Kyle Knapp, but they're going to lose a ton of time, almost 4/10 to those drivers right in front of him. I almost wonder, can Ed Morris lead this lap? Nicholas Vroman is there. He's going to clear for second. And, you know, Nicholas has now got his target set on that number 7 truck right in front of him. These are teammates, but don't get it wrong. There are no teammates when it comes to winning a race. Well, maybe some of you guys didn't notice. I kind of caught it out of the corner of my eye. Going into turn 3, Kyle Knapp drove it in deep, trying to get in front of Jeremy Clifton. Clifton was able to roll the hot side just well enough that didn't allow the 42 to pull up in front of him. So then he had to get off the throttle, and that really killed his speed down the front stretch. And you see the time that he lost. He went from side by side with Clifton to quite a few tenths behind him and almost getting put 3 wide going into turn 1. Well, and you said it, you know, just trying to find your groove as well. And it looks like the number 3 of John Sterling, he had a very good run there on Alan Hilton going down the front stretch. Decided, you know what, I'm just going to give him a nice push down the front into turn 1. I'm not going to try to go side by side with him. We've still got 80 laps to go. We saw what could happen before we get to turn 1 on this race. You never know what could happen anywhere in the final 80 laps. Yeah, nice little crossover there for John Sterling. He's not quite pushing it. You don't see the side drafting that he could possibly do if he wanted to. I think he just had a run and decided to go with it. But you see what it's cost them. They have lost 6/10 to that group in front of them, just being side by side now for half a lap. So it makes quite a difference as Nicholas Vroman, he is side by side in the tunnel turn with Ed Morris. These trucks sliding everywhere. Ed's going to get a nice run off of the tunnel turn. That'll cost Vroman as Ray Lane, and here comes Jeremy Clifton looking back here on the outside for third. Here. Actually, it looks like for some reason we're having an issue. Give us just a moment, everybody. For some reason, Tanner, you're not coming over here. You're not coming over on from TeamSpeak. Give me just a moment, everybody. Sorry about that. I'll go back and double check everything. Alright, Tanner, let's try this again here. Tanner, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I don't know what was happening for some reason. Yeah, thank you, Scoots. He's on our YouTube page mentioning us that I don't hear two voices, and so that is not quite sure what happened. Honestly, all I did was go in and put the same exact setting that was in there the first time, and it's working now. So, appreciate it, Scoots. Sorry for everybody who missed out on either my voice or Tanner's voice through any portion of that. So that was an odd technical issue there. Scoots, yes, Bassinger was in fact involved in a pretty heavy accident that happened on the start of the race. Looks like a couple trucks got up onto each other, and they, just a pile-up, really.
Yes, now you can hear me, Angel. We are single file here. Burst through about, oh, as I say that, Kyle Knapp makes it interesting. It almost smacks the wall coming out of turn 3. Berman, Clifton, Lane, and Ed Morris all ahead of him. And we have a lap car, our first lap car of the race. It looks like, I didn't catch the number of who that was there, Angel, but possibly Brian. It's not Brian Senesac, is it Ryan Hoover?
Let's...
Or Christian DeBoer?
Christian... Yeah, Ryan Hoover looks like that's one of our lap cars. Yeah, he's just pulling out of the way. He's one of those drivers involved in that lap 1 incident, kind of just wrong place at the wrong time for him. So he's just trying to make up some time here. Currently 2 laps down, Ryan Hoover is. We are back to the lead here. Nicholas Vroman has dropped to the 4th position behind Jeremy Clifton, and he's got a mirror full of Kyle Knapp.
Yeah, that is correct. A mirror full, but he is giving a mirror full to Clifton here. Vermin is all on the back bumper of that 51 machine. But we have a 2-car breakaway here. Morris and Lane. As I say that, Clifton closes the gap, driving it into turn 1. Vermin following Clifton, so our top 4 here nose to tail.
Yeah, these drivers are right on top of each other. As you say, nose to tail. Ray Lane looking to the bottom. He's got a nice run as they go into the tunnel turn. He's going to make the pass on your leader, Ed Morris. Ed is just going to kind of let him on by, not going to put up a fight. He knows that's just going to cost him in time and his tires, as Jeremy Clifton is still in 3rd with Nicholas Vroman all over. Look at Ray Lane just drive super deep into the corner. We have to see how that's going to affect them going down the front stretch here.
Yeah, stacking it up just a little bit, but Lane's still in the lead here by about a car length over Morris on lap 18 of 90 into turn 1. We see Knapp edging to the inside of Vroman. Vroman is on the outside, Knapp on the inside in turn 1. Knapp does get a little squirrely onto the entry, and that allows Vroman to clear on that high side as we see Clifton blinking here.
Yeah, that's a little odd, out of the ordinary for Jeremy Clifton. We don't really have any drivers here that we tend to see blinking quite a bit, as Kyle Knapp now attacking Nicholas Vroman, looking for that 4th position as they go through the tunnel turn. Man, this track. Oh, look at loose. You can see how loose Kyle Knapp was there off of turn 2.
Yeah, tire wear starting to become an issue. Only about 15 laps on this green flag run, maybe even 14. So it looks like Hilton here on the outside clears Knapp. Knapp pulls right up in front of Michael Thwaites in the 12 machine. 12 going to dive low here in turn 1. As I say that, Hilton will go to the inside of Roman here. Hilton and Thwaites both making a move.
Yeah, everybody trying to make their moves where they can. If you have a chance to get past Nicholas Roman, you do it by every means possible. You know that's one of the top drivers in this league, and if you're running in front of him, your odds are you're going to have yourself a pretty good day. Alan Hilton not able to make the pass here as they get ready to go into the tunnel turn, but behind him, Kyle Knapp and Michael Thwaites still side by side, giving each other plenty of room here on lap 19 of 80 for the RICMOTECH Truck Series, race number 6 at Pocono. And you mentioned it, it's only 15, 16 laps maybe. That's 38, 40 miles in these on these tires, and on a track that's as abrasive as Pocono. Honestly, 5 to 10 laps is all you need to want to have fresh tires.
Exactly. And while we're on a green flag run here, you're going to throw the driver info up and go through our field just a little bit, show off these paint schemes on this green flag run.
I like that. That's a great idea. We'll go ahead and start with your leader, Ray Lane from Rutherfordton, North Carolina. I have no clue if I said that correctly. I'm just hoping I did. Ed Morris here fighting for his life to stay in second place alongside Jeremy Clifton. Ed Morris looks like maybe he used his tires up a little bit to start the race, as it's giving Lane an opportunity to pull away. Ed Morris from Culbertson, Montana, currently in the third position. We'll see for how long. Is Jeremy Clifton, your pole sitter from Statesville, North Carolina. Nicholas Roman, your hungry fourth place driver from Baltimore, Maryland. Alan Hilton from Mocksville, North Carolina. Kyle Knapp in his Ford F-150 from Gobles, Michigan. Michael Thwaites from Westminster, Maryland. Reston, Virginia is where John Sterling's home is, in the number 3 Ford F-150. Mike Rominger from French Lick, Indiana. I'm sorry, they're switching positions. I messed that one up. John Sterling was in front. Now it's Mike Rominger. And then in 10th place is James Holzer from Greensburg, Pennsylvania. I'll let you have the rest.
Alrighty, we have 11th place of Brendan Book in that number 5 machine from Sterling Heights, Michigan. 12th place is Jordan McGraw in that 34 Chevrolet from Bridgeport, Texas. 13th is Don Milkowitz in that 13 Silverado from York, Pennsylvania, as Eric Driggins in the 21 machine Toyota Tundra passes him from Dalton, Georgia in Primetime Motorsports. David Elliott falls right behind in that number 4 Chevrolet Silverado from Radford, Virginia in 15th place. 16th is the number 1 Silverado of Chris Akers from Woodville, Virginia. 17th, the 28 Tundra of Wallace Boyce from Suffolk, Virginia. 18th, number 98 F-150 of Kevin Franks from Rocky Mount, Virginia. 19th place, the number 36 Toyota Rob Griffin from Elizabeth City, North Carolina. And rounding out your top 20 is that 59 Silverado of Joshua O'Connor Sr. from Waynesville, Missouri.
In 21st, you have the number 26 truck, or what's left of it, for Daniel Holloway. We saw some unfortunate situation happen to him as he goes down a lap here. Last week he got involved in a wreck, and I don't believe that was of his own doing as well. So Daniel, last rough couple races, as Kyle Knapp is going to be your first truck here on pit lane now as we hit the 23rd lap of this race. So interesting decision for him, and Joshua O'Connor as well will be coming down pit road. Bryce Sinisak is in the 22nd position from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Ryan Hoover in the number 92 Chevrolet. He is from Colorado Springs, Colorado. We saw him involved in that early wreck as well. Just trying to give everybody as much room as possible. Christian DeBauer from Grand Rapids, Michigan in the number 56 Primetime Motorsports truck. In 24th. In 25th currently is Samuel Morris from North Vernon, Indiana. Mike Franklin, number 82 Ford F-150 from Huntsville, Texas, Tyler Dohar from Walbridge, Ohio, and Christopher Bassinger from Tucson, Arizona, rounding out your field in the 20th position, still currently on pit lane getting some repairs done. Right now, Ray Lane is your leader. He's got himself about an 0.8 of a second lead over Nicholas Vroman, but Nicholas is trying to pick off those laps as quickly as he can. Gaining about a 1/10 on Ray that last time around. Ed Morris is staying right up behind his teammate of Nicholas Vroman, trying to stay with him as close as he possibly can as they try to hunt back down your leader, Ray Lane.
Yeah, and just a heads up on this pit cycle here, Knapp, O'Connor, Akers, Senesac, Holloway, all down pit lane. So that's about 4 cars, trucks, that is. Excuse me, Angel. Getting used to switching over from ARCA to trucks tonight. Our leader down pit road, Ray Lane, Vroman, Morris, Clifton, Hilton, Thwaites, Sterling, and Rominger, all down pit road. Double file in the pit road, that is, Angel.
Yeah, you got quite a few drivers. David Elliott David Elliott's already been on pit lane, it looks like. No, all these drivers last pit on lap 2. They were involved one way or another in that accident, or maybe just came to top off. So currently your top 6 has not come down pit lane on this cycle. You see Jordan McGraw currently in the first position. James Holzer is in second. He had himself a nice top 3 run in the last race that we had with RICMOTECH Truck Series 2 weeks ago. Brendan Book up here in the third position. Brendan was actually doing pretty good before this. I'm not sure if this is where he was already with these drivers, but we saw him having made up quite a bit of time earlier on. David Elliott there in fourth. Kevin Franks in 5th, and in 6th place is Rob Griffin. So all 6 of those drivers still needing to come down pit lane. Ray Lane is still your leader over Nicholas Vroman. Kyle Knapp looking on the inside now. He came in 2 laps earlier, so that's 2 lap fresher tires he had for that moment in time to make up some of that time that he had lost originally.
Yeah, Knapp was falling back there about 3 or 4 laps before he pit. He was a couple of seconds away from our leader, about 2 to 3 seconds if I recall correctly. Now Vroman's pulling away from him with 2 lap newer tires as David Elliott and Rob Griffin just hit pit road. That is the 4 and 36 trucks.
Yep, so now we just have Jordan McGraw, James Holzer, Brendan Book, and Kevin Franks as your 4 drivers still needing to come down pit lane, maybe hoping for a caution, get themselves a lucky break. The caution isn't necessarily to stay on the lead lap. It's more so, which also is needed. And those 3 drivers are coming down pit lane now. But mostly just so that maybe some interesting pit strategy, kind of rack them up back with the rest of these drivers and have fresher tires.
Yeah, exactly. We have Jordan McGraw, James Holzer, and Brendan Book all down pit road on lap 27. So that leaves Kevin Franks, your outlier, for staying out. The number 98 machine will stay out another lap, possibly pitting on lap 27, or 20, going on to 28 here. As Ray Lane is the battle for the lead, followed by Vroman, Knapp, Morris, and Clifton. So not really much changing other than Knapp jumping about 4 or 5 positions, as he just got passed by Ed Morris.
Well, Nicholas Vroman just put down the fastest lap by any driver today with a 54.71, so he's got himself a blazing lap right there. Only a handful of drivers even in that 54-second territory 27 laps into this race.
That is correct. About 2/10 faster than the majority of the field here, at least 2/10, if not 3 or 4. As we're taking a look on board here, Kevin Franks did just go down pit road, so this is the battle for the lead. They are scored in 2nd and 3rd right now, but as soon as they pass pit road, they will be scored as the lead. And we see Ray Lane letting it rip coming out of turn 3, almost sideways, and onto the wall on the front stretch. Into turn 1 here, Vroman is going to have a run. What's he going to do with it here? He's going to let off early and hopefully drive off better as he's able to throttle up.
Yeah, but you can hear that right front tires. The 44 is just loose. He is just pushing loose off of these corners. But it's keeping Roman behind him. I mean, from here it's going to be. We saw on that last run, I believe Ray was able to save his tires ever so slightly better. We'll have to see how they do now with these drivers just a little bit more separated after pit stops. So Roman, we've seen him use up his tires early in a run, but we've also seen him have the ability to save tires. So that'll be interesting to see what he decides to do here on this run, on his way to looking to make back-to-back wins. And then I was just thinking here, it looks like the pit window is about 20 to 24 laps, depending if we can get any cautions. Obviously, we had an early caution. A lot of these drivers did have to catch the pace car, so that was honestly not really a lap to save fuel. So just low enough fuel percentage that they're going to have to make at least 2 more pit stops, I believe.
That is correct, and we have 4 additional sets of tires, so they'll use probably 3 sets before this is all said and done, which means strategy will come into play. If there's a green-white checker, they'll have an extra set in the hauler that they'll be able to use.
Yeah, that'll be an exciting one to see what these drivers are able to do with that. I can't imagine we're really going to need it. This is one of those races where you tend to see go green. Not because of the lack of quality of the racetrack it is. It's just that there's so much racetrack. You could put 100 trucks out here and they're still going to get strung out pretty easily.
That is correct, as we have a battle for 6th and 7th here. That is between Hilton and Sterling. They were really close there. Didn't trade positions, but they were side by side for about a lap and a half here. Sterling falling in line to Hilton. And you see in the distance back there, Michael Thwaites, who has been really fast these past few weeks. So Thwaites is hoping that they get side by side here within the next few laps so that he can gain a little bit of ground before they have to pit again.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct there. Michael Thwaites loving the view he's got of these 2 drivers, 2 infamous numbers in the number 2 and the number 3 going at it at Pocono here as they come off of turn 3 to come down this nice long stretch. I'll revert back to what I said right before we went green on that restart as we see Daniel Holloway making his way down pit lane. What is your... And Nicholas Vroman actually did take the lead away from Ray Lane, so there's your current battle for the lead. First and second separated by a tenth. You go about half a second back as your third place driver, Ed Morris. Anyway, Stanner, so which of these tracks, or which one of these very tough turns is your favorite, and which one is the one that you just can't quite get?
So my favorite turn here at Pocono is turn 1. If you are very good at throttle control here, which I'm not, I'll go ahead and say that heads up. If you let it out of the throttle early in turn 1, you're able to drive off so much better than driving in on entry and losing it on exit. So turn 1 is my favorite because I like that midline. I don't really like the low or high line. I like the midline. As we see Roman actually semi-running it, he goes all the way to the apron here. And then they're coming to my least like turn at this tricky triangle. So turn 2 is known as the tunnel turn, and you have to lift so much. Well, not only lift so much, but control the throttle so much on exit here without smacking that wall. As we just saw Roman Lane and Ed Morris just take that so smoothly. That is my most hated turn, Angel.
I have to agree 100%. That is my most hated turn as well, just because it's so hard to figure out. All 3 of these turns are difficult, and then really just trying to figure out where you want to be fastest at, because you can make up so much time if you can figure out 1 and 2, because you have the entire back end of the racetrack you can make up time with. But hitting turn 3, it is the flattest of these corners, if I'm not mistaken. It is so hard to get that corner right, and if you do, my goodness, the run you can get down that front stretch is just so fantastic. But one slight mishap in turn 3, you have to get off the throttle any reason after you should be, then you're just losing a ton of time.
That is correct. At a huge track, I've said this at least once, if not twice this race. Exit is going to be your best friend here. So if you want to give up just a little bit of distance on the entry and let out of the throttle and ride on the apex and then gas it up on exit, that is the best way to go here. Not only to save tires, but to get the run on the straightaways, which will help whenever we have the battle for the lead at the end. And Vroman, speaking of battle of the lead, he still got the lead here. Lane not putting up a fight, just following single file. And Ed Morris, as he showed last night for anyone that tuned into the ARCA series, Ed Morris had about a 5-second lead almost at the end of the ARCA race from just saving tires. He was very consistent at the beginning of the race, not very fast, but at the end he was consistent, didn't make a mistake, and ultimately that won him the race. And Angel, this looks like the exact situation as last night. He was running in third, and then after about 2 cycles he was in the lead. So look for Ed Morris here in the lead within the next cycle or two.
Well, and so we had mentioned before that last one that Ed Morris looks like he had used up his tires a little bit on that first run, trying to take the lead and holding on to it. And if you're talking about him being good at saving tires, that's something that's so important, because when you're really good at saving tires, sometimes you forget how to go fast on your cold tires. You think you're always needing to kind of save, and that's just kind of the mode you get into. And that ends up hurting you on a late, restart in that sense. So I think Ed maybe decided, let's see what we've got if we push it hard for how long. Kind of maybe prepare yourself in case you do get that late race restart. So I think Ed Morris, if you're saying that's how he was last night in that ARCA race, I'd say look for Ed Morris to be possibly contending for a win in the next 55 laps. As we come down here... Sorry, go ahead, Tanner.
I was just about to say, we have a battle heating up. John Sterling and Michael Thwaites for that 6th position. They were separated by about a car length out of turn 3 here. Thwaites and Hilton, excuse me, that is not Hilton. The 3 machine is John Sterling. Into turn 1 they go, bumper to bumper.
Yeah, a little confusion there, just because we are constantly almost feeling like we have the number 2 and 3 trucks battling it out with each other. So... yeah, no, can't blame you on that one. I probably would have said the same thing, as John Sterling is holding on to 6th place from Michael Thwaites. Each week, I'm telling you, Michael just kind of, his running position is just ever so slightly higher each week that we race. Like, he's really, really finding a groove for himself here in the RICMOTECH High Performance Truck Series.
That is correct, as he's trying to find his way into the top 6 and maybe hit up Kyle Knapp for that 5th position, but he's got to get past the 3 of John Sterling here. And out of turn 3 onto the front stretch, the gap has stayed the same about the past 2 laps. If I'm not mistaken, Sterling has actually gained just a tad bit here. And if we take a look back to our lead, Angel, Nicholas Vroman.
Yep, still your leader right now with about a 2.5 tenths of a second lead over Ray Lane. These drivers, the 3 of them, honestly, basically running identical lap times. That last time around, they were separated by 3/100ths of a second, your top 3. So, just kind of keeping each other in pace, not necessarily pushing it very hard. Just, this is one of those races where you race it like a road course, where you're trying to get as much as you can early, but at the same time not trying to take yourself out of it. I mean, I know you can say that about every race, but road courses is a different approach to it, and Pocono has always been one of those tracks where you kind of have to have a road course type mentality to go with it.
Yeah, and something that adds to battling throughout this race is the bonus points that we rarely mention for this league, but 1 bonus point goes for starting in the top 12, so the top 12 qualifiers all get 1 bonus point, and then the drivers get 1 bonus point for leading the most laps, so whoever leads the most laps gets 1 bonus point, and then 2 bonus points goes out for completing the race with a 0x incident count, so that is a race incident free 2 bonus points. So if they can stay clean throughout this race, they could rack up 4 bonus points in total.
Yeah, that's pretty good numbers right there when you think about it. Every position on track is 1 point, so that's basically gaining 4 spots just from showing up having a decent qualifying and keeping your race clean.
That is correct. They're rewarding good behavior like we've heard our whole life here. Verma putting on a clinic. We have Ray Lane in second place, followed by Ed Morris in third, Jeremy Clifton in fourth, and Kyle Knapp rounding out your top five as we have a battle between David Elliott and Don Milkowitz, the 13 and 4 machine, fighting for 13th and 14th. Not really a battle just yet, but the 4 of Elliott has caught the 13.
Well, actually, David Elliott's been on the bumper of Don Milkowitz for quite a few laps now, so this is a battle that's been developing for at least the last 4 or 5 laps, I'd say. So I expect to see this, or David just kind of taking his, just going through the motions right now, not trying to push it. While we're in kind of this middle groove, we should be coming up to some pit stops here in the next 4 to 5 laps. So before we get to that moment, we're going to jump back to your leaders here. You see Nicholas Roman in the lead still over Ray Lane. And we're going to bring out the second of our commercials thanks to the RICMOTECH High Performance Truck Series.
RICMOTECH High Performance Sim Racing Equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, RICMOTECH has you covered. Hundreds of name brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com. RICMOTECH High Performance Sim Racing Equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
Alrighty, we are back once again. Thank you to RICMOTECH High Performance Sim Racing Equipment for the sponsorship for this Extreme Motorsports League. Definitely not wasting their brand putting it on this truck series with the way these drivers have been performing this season. Am I right, Tanner?
That is correct. Excellent racing here. We're averaging about 2 cautions a race, which is really, really good considering we only had 1 caution within the past 42 laps. And we are close to halfway here, about 3 laps from getting halfway. So very clean racing provided by RICMOTECH.
Yeah, I mean, think about the tracks that we have gone to this year, We start off the year at Daytona where everybody says, oh, it's a wreck fest. I think we had, maybe 1 caution? I think maybe 2. Then you go to Las Vegas the week after. We're all good. Hardly any issues. Auto Club. I think we went green for that. Or we had maybe 1 caution there. Nashville's where we went green the entire race. Then we had Dover last week with minimal cautions. So it's just been a league with minimal cautions throughout. I mean, and it's absolutely exemplified the fantastic racing that we see week in and week out here.
That is correct. Consistency is key. And Roman has been consistent tonight, but not only tonight, throughout this entire season, being up front in each and every race. Ray Lane here, if I'm not mistaken, that is a new guy. I wouldn't say the new guy, but a new guy to the league. As we have a caution, Tyler Dohar in that 77 machine has crashed according to our timing here.
Man, he just got back out on track. Not a good day for Tyler Dohar. You see him going here. Oh, it looks like he was just behind the 21. I think he just tried slowing up and hitting the brakes and to avoid what looked like was going to be a wreck in front of him, and that caused him to go around.
Yes, we're looking at it again one more time here. Looks like he possibly went to check up, locked the tires up. Yep,
That's exactly what
happened. Locked it up and wheel hopped here. He saved it and then he overcorrected and just locked it down there. Nice job though. No damage. Just gonna need a new set of tires. But that is about 4 laps short of where everyone would have pitted at here. They would have pitted within the next 3 to 4 laps. So now that's gonna change up the game. Everyone's gonna come in here and that's gonna even the strategy.
Yep, absolutely agreed. It's gonna change up the strategy even more. You know, all these drivers would prefer to kind of have that. If you're gonna have that caution, you know, bring it out halfway through the run. Let me get a new set of tires, or right at the cusp of it. And I know we're almost there, but 4 laps is still a lot here at Pocono. And as to no surprise, you're gonna see the entire field coming down pit road now.
Oh, we do have a few drivers staying out here. Is that a lab car possibly wanting to get the wave around?
Yes, I'm going to say so from the looks of it. Yeah, Chris Akers is going around. Looks like he's actually the lucky dog, the number 1 Chevy. So he's got a long way around the track.
So no lead lap cars staying out here. All 18 lead lap cars are going to go down pit road.
Yeah, no surprise there. That's about what I would expect as well. Everybody trying to come down pit lane. As we're going to see the race off of pit road here. And Nicholas Roman off first. No surprise. Ray Lane, Ed Morris, Jeremy Clifton, Kyle Knapp is your top 5. All that's going to stay exactly the same as when they came down pit lane. So let's see, 24 to 25 laps, maybe I'd say probably a little bit less considering they had some of those pace laps early. So let's say 20 to 22. Okay, let's say 24. I think they were at the 20 lap mark just as they came down pit lane. So 24 puts them at the 70 lap mark. That'll put them 20 laps. Okay, so we're going to have what? 42, maybe 43 laps. You can split that right down the middle. Definitely can't make it all the way, but you can split that down the middle.
Yeah, we should only have one more stop here with that caution. Going to even things up. One more stop. Without, remember, we've only got 1 green, white checkered, so we can only go an extra 3 or 4 laps once this race is supposed to be over with anyways. So if there's a caution there, only going to extend it by 3 or 4 laps. Andrew, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say one more stop will do the trick.
Yeah, and if you're going to have the, and I completely forgetting about this opportunity of green, white checkered, I would wait as long as I possibly could before I pit in this final run, just to make sure that I'm going to have enough for a green, white checkered. Because the last thing you want to do is run out of fuel on the last lap here.
Yeah, Pocono is a long way around this track. So if you run out of fuel, just say turn 1 or turn 2, the chances of you towing are very, very high. So you're not going to want to run out, but you're going to want to run it till you at least hear the sputter. No, I'm kidding, Angel. About a lap or so from when you're going to run out is when you want to pit here at Pocono.
Yeah, I mean, you at no point want to. The only time you should be okay here running out of fuel is when you're pulling into your pit lane. Because you got to remember, this is a very long pit lane as well. You can run out of fuel coming off turn 3, and you're still going to lose a ton of time, especially if you're one of those guys that qualified up front and have one of those pit stops further up.
Yes, we're double file again. The pace truck in between turns 2 and 3 here. Double file, pace truck lights are off. Gonna go green on lap 47 of 90. We are over halfway. We actually passed halfway 2 laps ago. Into turn 3 we go here, getting ready to go green, Angel.
Yep, we're going to have 24 laps to go. No, I'm sorry. 34 laps to go. I don't know what I'm thinking. No, 44. Yes, I'll say it correctly eventually. 44 laps to go now. Here we are. We are back green here in Long Pong, Pennsylvania. Nicholas Vroman is your leader as they're side by side now for second. Ed Morris and Ray Lane battle it out for second as they drive down into turn 1. Looks like Ed Morris will clear him. Looks like your top 4 or 5 drivers will be single file as they come off of turn 2. Our next battle looks like Kyle Knapp's a little bit loose there up under Michael Thwaites as they come off of turn 2.
Yeah, on to turn 3 here. Foreman, Morris, Lane, Clifton, and Thwaites, your top 5. We've got double file racing back there, but Clifton on the inside of Lane, pushing Ed Morris into turn 2, that is. Thwaites going to the outside of Clifton here. Knapp looking to the inside of Thwaites into turn 3, Andrew.
Yeah, you know, you're going to see these drivers be very aggressive on this restart, and you're going to have to be. You saw how spread out we got after that first round of pit stops. You want to make up as much time as you possibly can when you're around the drivers that you are around right now, when everybody's kind of right on top of each other. So your main goal here, gain as many spots as possible, and you see Jeremy Clifton trying to do that, but it looks like Michael Thwaites is so far the beneficiary of that, battling with Jeremy for the 4th position. Jeremy looking to slide right up in front of him. He's not going to have enough run. Yes, he is. Oh, it looks like Thwaites is going to dive to the bottom. Here comes Mike Rominger, one of your winners from earlier this year, trying to put his name back into the picture. And they are side by side there through the tunnel turn. Mike Rominger is going to be a little bit loose up under Kyle Knapp. He's going to slide right back in front of the number 3 truck of John Sterling as they drive here into turn 3. Mike Rominger is going to settle himself back into the 7th position, up 3 spots from his original starting position in 10th. Right now we have a 3-way tie. Oh, no, now it's not. Joshua O'Connor in the number 59 Chevrolet Silverado. He is currently your ESBN biggest mover of the race, up 14 spots. If he keeps on going back and forth here with James Holzer and Brendan Book. Now Brendan Book makes himself the highest gainer as Joshua slides up the racetrack a little bit. So quite a few guys right here up double digits from their starting positions at the start of this race.
Yeah, not to take any spotlight away from these hardest chargers, but Mike Rominger is a name that we have not heard in about a week or two. As we're 4 wide, Clifton into the wall, Knapp, Rominger, and Thwaites, all 3 wide. They were actually 4 wide, passing Clifton as he was into the wall. Clifton falling all the way back to 13th position as he was fighting for that top 5. It looks like he got moved by Thwaites and then just contact put him right into the outside wall, and they were 4 wide getting by him.
Yeah, so it's hard to tell. Let's see as they go through the tunnel turn here. So the 12 slides up into Jeremy just a little bit. I don't know if the 42 maybe got into him a little bit there. We'll have to check out from a different view to see if the number 12 had a little help getting to that position there. No, I don't think so. I think just the 51 and the 12 made contact there off of turn 2. Oh, and heavy contact for Jeremy Clifton as he's making his way already down the pit lane. So, Jeremy Clifton, your pole sitter, not having the result right now he was hoping for as he's on pit lane trying to get some damage repair. Nicholas Vroman is your leader. Ed Morris in second. Ray Lane in third. Kyle Knapp about 1.5 seconds behind this group and about 0.4 ahead of Mike Rominger, John Sterling, Michael Thwaites. Looks like he's starting to lose some positions, maybe feeling the after effects of some of this damage. Look at David Elliott making his way into the picture, as well as Jordan McGraw. So some of these names we haven't really heard today. You see Rob Griffin up 14 spots. He is currently, Brendan Book still your biggest mover of the race, up 15 spots from his original starting position and second to last in 37th.
That's correct. Angel, if you'll give me just a second, I seem to be stuck on pit lane camera, so let me figure that out real fast.
Oh, not a problem. It looks like I'm not sure what is happening with our SDK file right now. Is not quite. Alright, everybody. Looks like we're all having some technical difficulties in the moment with SDK.
Alrighty, as I'm back on Nicholas Verman here for the lead at lap 52 of 90, followed by Ed Morris in second and Ray Lane in third. Got it figured out there, Angel.
Yeah, it looks like my end as well. Not sure. We were seeing a practice session for some other with names we don't know. I don't know what all was happening there, but we are back and we're good to go now.
Yeah, we've got a battle. Chris Akers, Wallace Boyce, and Joshua Sr. all look like they are in a three-car pack back here for 16th, 17th, and 18th.
Let's jump right on over. You're right. They're behind the number 59 truck of Joshua O'Connor, currently under attack from that number 1 Reese's Puffs Chevrolet of Chris Akers, and Wallace Boyce hanging on tight right behind him in that number 28 Toyota Tundra. It's in clean condition still for Wallace Boyce. Look, that Toyota looks pretty clean. No damage overall. Keeping himself with a nice clean race.
Yeah, that number 1 machine looks a little used up. We saw him get a lucky dog about, a caution or two ago. So it may have been that last caution. I cannot remember correctly, but that number 1 of Chris Akers has damage, but he's able to keep pace. He's in 16th place, up 6 positions from where he started.
Yeah, I do believe Chris Akers was involved in that original incident, which is what currently put him back here with the damage that he has. So we're going to jump right back up here to your leaders. It is a three-way battle. Ed Morris has made his way around Ray Lane. So you have Primetime Motorsports currently 1-2. And then the number 44 Ford F-150 of Ray Lane in third. Another Ford in Kyle Knapp is in fourth. Mike Rominger in the Chevrolet in fifth. John Sterling is your third Ford here in 6th place. So pretty even split so far. Top 6, 3 Fords, 3 Chevrolets.
That is correct. And Ed Morris is up to second, Angel. He is making me a man of my word here, telling you that he's going to be here for the long haul. He did pass Ray Lane, so now he is looking to pass Nicholas Verman as he loses just a little bit of ground here out of turn 1. But into turn 2, our leaders are neck to neck, about a car length in between each one of them. So Verman, then a car length, and then Morris, and then a car length, and then Lane. And then we have about 10 car lengths back to Knapp.
Yep, you're right. These drivers are kind of right on top of each other. And Kyle Knapp is kind of, he's more than likely enjoying this. He's picking these guys off. He gained 0.2 of a second on that last lap. We'll have to see what it looks like when they come back across the line here as they come off of turn 3. Ooh, looks like Kyle's a little bit loose there off of turn 3. So he'll be ready to pounce once these guys start trying to battle for first and maybe make up some spots. Tanner, and what do you do right here? If you're Ed Morris, Ray Lane, are you trying to get in front of Nicholas Roman before these green flag pit stops, or do you think you can try to beat him on pit lane and maybe execute there without having any issues?
I'm going to try to short pit him here and go about, hopefully try and wait until the last second to pit. About a lap or so before you actually need to pit, dive in really fast so that he cannot have time to react and go down pit lane. That way you have a lap, fresher tires than him, and you'll be able to get about a second on him, and hopefully you can save enough tire to where he won't make that second back up. But Angel, that's a tough situation. It could go either way. You could either pit early and save tires, or pit late and you use some worn out tires for a few more laps than you need to, and then push at the end. It goes both ways, Angel.
Well, if you were to push this run as far as you can go, going 24 laps, That's going to be put some of these drivers pitting sometime within the next 10 to 11 laps. As you see Ed Morris just a little bit high there off of turn 1. Might lose some time here to Nicholas Roman as they barrel roll now into the tunnel turn. So, with so many variables on pit road as a whole, I'd say you got to get up there and take the lead while you can.
Alrighty, folks, you heard it here first. Angel is going to take the lead if he was in this race, but we have Ed Morris and Ray Lane still chasing Nicholas Vroman. And, Angel, I don't know who's in a better spot than Kyle Knapp. If something was to happen to this top 3, he's in just enough position where he can check up and get right on through it if he needs to.
Yep, you are correct there. The last time around, he was about half a tenth of a second quicker than that group in front of him, and I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but you still got plenty of laps, some pit stops to make. His pit stop was just as fast as that of Ed Morris and Ray Lane. Nicholas Roman was about 2.5 tenths faster. So yeah, Kyle Knapp is somebody definitely to keep your eye on here as we get to the end of this one. He's definitely closing in on this group of 3.
Yeah, no, this top 3 right here hasn't changed, but I'll tell you what has changed. This battle from about 8th to 12th is about a second separating 5 cars here, as they are double file coming out of turn 3.
Oh, it looks like maybe somebody almost got into the wall there. That would be the number 4 truck of David Elliott. He is now just trying to get some drafting help. But you are correct. These drivers are right on top of each other. You got Jordan McGraw in 8th. Brendan Book here. So far, your biggest mover, up 18 spots now, up to the 9th position. We've seen some speed out of him of quite a few races this year. So seeing him back up here into the 9th position is no surprise. That number 99 of James Holzer, we saw him involved in that first incident of the race. He has made his way back up with a damaged truck to the 10th position. So nice run for James Holzer so far today. Nice, I'd say, comeback in that sense.
Yeah, they are not really getting separated here. 2 to 3 car lengths separating about 5 positions. They're going to be interesting right before pit stops if they can catch up. But James Holzer does have that rear end damage that you just mentioned. So gonna possibly give him some troubles in the long run here as tires wear off, but hopefully not, as Brendan Book is inside the top 10
Michael
here.
Thwaites, I don't know what happened to him there. Sorry about that, Tanner. I just saw that truck I think he may have tagged the wall. Oh, yeah, he tagged the wall there, just trying to get as high up into the corner as possible. And that really, really hurt him, especially here in turn 1. Looks like Jordan McGraw's had the opportunity to get to his inside. Don't know if he had the run to make the pass here. Jordan is actually now in front of Michael Thwaites for the 7th position. So if I'm in this group of cars right here, as you see James Holzer making the pass now on Brendan Book for 9th, this is where I would short pit, a hard hit for number 2, Alan Clifton, off of turn 3.
And it happened right after pit road, so he was not able to go down that time by. He wouldn't make it here if he was to pit, but that damage right there is going to be killer. His right front tire is exposed, so that means that he will have a huge aerodynamic disadvantage here on the long run. Gonna hurt as he was running inside the top 10, but James Holzer, Michael Thwaites, Brendan Book, all still fighting for that top 7 position.
Man, I'll tell you this much. James Holzer is the driver I'd be worried if we get ourselves a late race caution. He is flying through the field with this damaged truck. It almost seems like it is helping him get past some of these drivers. But I was saying this is where I would, especially on James Holzer, maybe short pit it a little bit, by 1 lap, hopefully. Get yourself far in front of these drivers. You've been able to come up and pass them already, so you've got the speed to stay in front of them. So make sure you don't have to pass these drivers a second time, because that's just going to hurt you even more in the long run.
And not only that, but use tires. So just like you said, hurt you in the long run. The more tires you use, the less speed you're going to have at the end of this thing. But the 34 machine of Jordan McGraw leading this 5-car battle for 7th position.
Yep, quite a few drivers, as you mentioned, including our biggest mover of the race, Brendan Book. Nice recovery for David Elliott. And Don Milkowitz currently in the 12th position. You see Alan Hilton trying to hang on. We're not quite at the point where you can make it on green flag stops from here. If you do the 90 minus 24, looking like around lap 65, 66, maybe 66, 67. If you can push it to lap 68, that's where I would go. If you can make it to lap 68, try to give yourself that buffer for a green-white checkered should we get one at the end of this race.
Yeah, and Alan Hilton's still staying out. Hasn't pitted yet, so just going to take the brunt of that damage and stay out. Vroman, Morris, and Lane, nothing has changed in the past 20 laps with these three drivers, including the distance between each other. They are very consistent, very even on lap times. Ray Lane a little closer to Ed Morris than Morris would like here. Going into the tunnel turn, but Kyle Knapp falling back a little more, 1.4 seconds back from Vroman. So Kyle Knapp falling a little victim to tire wear here, but still inside the top four. But Primetime Motorsports here, Morris and Vroman, very, very dominant.
And Bob in our YouTube chat, he said, thank you for talking about other drivers other than the top 10. That's what Tanner's here for. Tanner gets me, reminding me that we do have other drivers on track. And you think I would know. I'm one of these, I am not a front runner. I don't have the seat time, Bob, as you mentioned. So I'm more sympathetic to these guys not currently running up front, especially here at Pocono. Because my goodness, this track is just impossible to race.
Yeah, that is correct. We like to show love to each and every driver. So if you're in our chat, please let us know who you would like to see as well. And we'll give them a little bit of spotlight here before we get to this dramatic ending. But Vroman's still in the lead. I'm a broken record at this point. Vroman, Morris, and Lane, for about the 20th time tonight, still first, second, and third. Lap 64 of 90. Pit lane should open up within the next 3 to 6 laps.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where does the pit strategy begin, who starts coming down when. Again, the lap that you want to be is around a lap 66, so sometime here in the next lap or two, we should see some drivers, if they're looking to maybe short pit, maybe get in the lap early and maybe push the button a little bit at the end of the race.
Yeah, pushing the envelope without touching the wall is going to be key here at Pocono because
much better.
There
much
you
better
go. I'm here when you need me. Not all the time do I get to help out, but normally it's you helping me out. But I'll take advantage of that. Vroman gonna be able to set the tone here at the end of this. He's gonna set the pace as long as he does not mess up on pit road. Ed Morris is ready to pounce like a panther.
I mean, if you're Ed Morris here, your teammate's in front of you, he's got to win this season. How aggressive are you going to be to try to take that win away from him? Because if it's me, it's my teammate, and I love my teammates and everything, but I'll move him to win the race if he's already got to win.
It's all situational here. I'd rather take a top two than accidentally move him and wreck, all depending on how you can bump him, run him. No wrecking here for the lead with your teammate, but Ray Lane is in the driver's seat now that Vroman and Morris and Lane have pulled away from Knapp. Lane can only hope for these top two right here to go side by side for at least 5 to 10 laps and burn their tires off, or Lane can blow right by them once they have. Oh, Ed Morris, tunnel turn. I told you this is the most hated turn on the track. Ed Morris proves me right. Man of my word, I am. Ray Lane to the inside of Ed Morris in turn 3. Ray Lane rides up the track here. Ed Morris trying to chase him down.
Yeah, that's going to cost Ed Morris. He's going to lose about 0.5 of a second to leader Nicholas Vroman now. He's definitely going to have to try to make up some of that time on pit lane. David Elliott going to be your first driver on pit lane right at the lap that I expected for them to open up this window. So Don Milkowitz is going to join him as well on pit lane. So these two drivers had been kind of around each other for quite a bit of this race, coming down pit lane with each other. Bob as well looking. He wants to go ahead and see the number 28 Toyota Tundra of Wallace Boyce. Currently your highest running Toyota. Rob Griffin just a couple of spots behind. These are teammates, as you, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's Wallace Boyce and Oh, I know one of these guys are teammates with each other. It's not the three of them. But currently, Wallace Boy's running in the 14th position with a very clean truck. I think we mentioned that one earlier with Wallace, keeping this truck nice and clean. He might be one of those drivers to make it through with a 0x tonight.
Yeah, that is an extra 2 points in the bonus system, so very crucial to have that. But Lane is falling back to 0.4 of a second from Verman, and Thwaites is down pit road as we did see him tag the wall about 10 laps ago and got sideways and saved it on the front stretch. He is finally going down pit road, but not going to be able to do any damage fixing because it is green flag condition.
Absolutely. You don't want to really waste any time on pit lane that you don't need. You're going to be there. You're definitely going to take your 4 fresh good years. You need a full tank of fuel anyways. You want to make sure you fill it up. Worst thing, you want to do for yourself is try to put in a little bit less thinking you can get away with something than running out of fuel, especially here at Pocono. A couple of these drivers still trying to push the button. I think here comes your leaders, Nicholas Roman, Ray Lane, Ed Morris, Kyle Knapp. How much time could these guys make coming on the pit lane? That's a big one. Your entire top 8, 9. Let's see, Joshua O'Connor, as he comes off turn 3. Is he going to hit pit lane with these drivers? It would be, there it is, your top 10. Wallace Boyce in 11th. Kevin Franks is going to be your one driver to stay out, kind of a little bit later than everybody else. Your entire 14 of your top 15 cars coming down pit lane on this lap, which is, I think that this is the lap that I expected everybody to come down, lap 68, should they want to try to make it through with possible green flag conditions at the end of this one. I'm sorry, green-white checkered at the end of this one.
Yeah, with 22 to go, the window opens up here. If you're Kevin Franks, I say Kevin Franks needs to wait about 2 more laps to guarantee that he has enough if there is a green-white checkered. So he will have the track position if there is a green-white checkered. But Kyle Knapp, Ray Lane, and Roman are your top 3. Ed Morris did lose 2 positions. He's running in 4th place once this all cycles out. He's currently scored in 5th because Kevin Franks is now going down pit road.
Yep, and that time around, David Elliott put down his fastest lap of the race, lap 68 for David Elliott, putting down a 55:36. Pretty good time. Not too far off from those drivers right in front of him. So, and I think he made up quite a few spots in the process. Currently in the 8th position, about 1.3 seconds in front of James Holzer. And so right now, looks like Ed Morris did get past Kyle Knapp here. So I think then here comes John Sterling in that number 3 Ford F-150. John making up some good time. Kyle Knapp seems to be struggling on this set of tires.
Kyle Knapp has fresh set of rubber. His only problem is, did he have wall contact? I mean, I don't know why he's so slow here. He's off pace by about 3 miles an hour on that straightaway in between turn 2 and 3 with 21 to go. Trouble for Kyle Knapp. He's falling back to 5th place, still constantly falling. Almost getting passed by Mike Rominger here. Within the next lap, he will lose 5th position.
I don't see any damage on this truck. I'm not exactly sure what is happening here for Kyle Knapp. So, unfortunate situation here for the number 42 Ford F-150 of Kyle Knapp, going from 3rd now down to 6th, seemingly off pace by a few miles per hour. No real damage to look at for him. So, that'll be interesting to see. James Holzer just put down his fastest lap of the race, a 55:27. Currently in the 8th position, trying to chase down David Elliott in front of him.
Yeah, we have one truck inside the 54 range on that last lap, and that was our leader. So, Ray Lane ran faster than our leader. So our top 2 were the fastest on track that time, and that makes total sense. With Ray Lane riding up the track in turn 3, that is the flattest turn. So throttle control and entry and exit are going to be your most important in turn 3 because it is the longest straightaway, so you can lose so much ground. As we had a very nice, respectful lap car there. The 77 of Tyler Dohar doing a nice job of getting out of these leaders' way.
That is very correct. And that last time around, your leaders were separated by 2/100ths of a second. Not exactly sure what's happened to Ed Morris here. He is now down 3.5 seconds back, 3.6 seconds back now. So I'm not sure. Maybe he's just trying in ultimate tire saving mode, assuming maybe we get a late race caution and everybody stays out. As John Sterling has now made his way into the third position past Ed Morris. Kyle Knapp has now lost another position. Looks like he's now under attack from Jordan McGraw. He's going to let Jordan and Brendan Book on by. So I'm wondering, maybe did Kyle Knapp not get the truck filled completely? And maybe that's... Oh, he's coming back down pit lane. Something was going on with this 42 truck.
Yeah, I knew that there wasn't something right whenever he went from 4th place all the way back to about 8th place within a lap. So, very, very bad news for that 42 machine. Dominant top 5 truck all night.
Yeah, he's his last pit stop was about 13 seconds, which is about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds slower than those that were around him. We'll see, is he taking tires here? Is he slides right in? He is going to go ahead and take a set of tires here. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so that's a shame there for the number 42 truck of Kyle Knapp, as he's going to fall now outside of the top 10, top 15, down to the 17th position currently, and a good ways behind the drivers in front of him. Nicholas Vroman currently your leader, Ray Lane in second, John Sterling in third. That last time around, Nicholas Vroman was about 1/10 faster than Ray Lane in second. John Sterling was an equal time there with your second place driver of Ray. So Mike Robinger moved up here to the 4th position, and Ed Morris is falling back here to 5th. Maybe just some of this damage, and you even mentioned not a lot of time to save or to try to get damage fixed because you're under green flag pit stop. So maybe this is affecting Ed here.
And sadly, I missed this comment about 10 minutes ago. Bob said I would like to see Boyce. So can we show Wallace Boyce real fast? As he is in pit lane as I speak.
No, you're good. I did get that one. We did jump over to Boyce. That's actually why Bob mentioned to us that Griffin is in fact Boyce's teammate. So Rob Griffin and Wallace Boyce currently on pit lane. Oh, Wallace does have some damage now. So he had a clean truck up until sometime within the last 10 laps that we looked at him. Let's see. Oh, it looks like he went off track a little bit. So we'll show you what all happened here for... Oh, it's heavy damage on the left side of this truck here. Let's see... Maybe coming off of turn what? Oh yeah. Oh, he might have had a little help there by the 09 truck of Bryce Sinasak.
He got loose and Bryce Sinasak had nowhere to go.
Yep. So that's exactly what happened there. So it looks like the 28 just got loose and Bryce just wrong place at the wrong time. They may not have even touched there. Oh, yeah, no, they touched a little bit. Well, at the very least, Kyle Knapp on that last run just put down his fastest lap of the day at 55.14, which would put him right somewhere in that top 5 to 6 range. So, driving like a bat out of hell today as Ray Lane is caught right back up to your leader here, Nicholas Vroman. This is going to be a close one. I can tell you this much, as Ray looks like didn't quite get to the tunnel turn as well as Nicholas did.
Yeah, Nicholas has been very consistent. I've watched him for about the past 5 laps. He has not changed his line one bit. I see Ray Lane going out to the wall there in turn 3, and Vroman kind of edges off or straightens up that turn 3 exit onto the long straightaway as we see a banged up truck here right in front of the leaders. Is he going to pull off like we have seen past lap cars do? As we're taking a look at the 3 of John Sterling pulling away from Mike Rominger here.
Yeah, this is coming down. I mean, every position is making a difference here, and we're seeing Mike Rominger trying to close in to try to take himself a podium away from John Sterling. Mike Rominger, for those of you that do not remember, was your winner in the Las Vegas race earlier this year. So he's looking to try to make up some time. You know what's funny is, aside from our week 1 winner, Mike Franklin, each winner since then has had a 9 in their number.
Special facts presented to you by Angel. Thank you, Angel. Mike Rominger here, hunting down John Sterling in that Ford F-150. And I'm amazed. Ed Morris is back to 5th, 6.5 seconds back. Something did happen to him, I think.
I think you're right. I think you and Bob even said it here. You know, maybe he is just trying to save his tire. Maybe it's just that damage is just too much to handle right now, and he's losing a ton of spots because of it. We'll jump back here to Ed Morris, as he's currently got pretty good. He's got about 2 seconds behind him to James Holzer. So over the last 13 laps here, if he can put down some quality laps, he should be all right. But that last time around, he was about 0.4 of a second slower than James.
Yes, Vroman is currently running a 55.80, as Ed Morris ran a 56.3, so about a half a second slower than the leader. So Ed Morris's hopes of this race are pretty much up and gone because of that wall contact. But with 12 to go, Ray Lane is thanking the wall for taking Ed Morris out of this thing, as he can take on Vroman 1v1.
Yeah, this is going to allow Ray Lane to have a side-by-side battle. And then it's good for Lane because, as we were talking about, Ed Morris and Nicholas Vroman are, in fact, teammates. So, you know, they're going to go for the team win before they're going to go for the individual win. You know, you got 2 drivers with each other on the same team battling one other person. You're going to make sure one of the both of you are finishing in that top 2 positions.
And as Angel, what do you say we're taking one more commercial before the end of this thing? Is we'll have approximately about 8 to go whenever we come back from the commercial.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and bring them on in.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, RICMOTECH has you covered. Hundreds of name-brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com. RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, RICMOTECH has you covered. Hundreds of name-brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com. RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
We are back live, and just as you called it, Tanner, we've got 8 laps to go here as Nicholas Vroman is holding himself now up to a 0.6 of a second lead over Ray Lane. I think Ray may have just about used up his stuff trying to catch and pass Nicholas Vroman. Man.
Exactly, as we have John Sterling and Mike Rominger 3rd and 4th place back there, blocking all the way to the pit lane entry they did on the front stretch right there. Sterling either got loose and so did Rominger, or they were blocking all the way down to the apron.
I can say loose, but I definitely agree with the blocking sense. John Sterling is trying to hold on for a podium finish. We've seen him make his way up just, race by race, along with Michael Thwaites, just slowly improving, and a top 3 at a tough track like Pocono is really going to go a long way for him. Next closest on battle on track is going to be Jordan McGraw and Brendan Book. Brendan Book, currently your biggest mover of the race, up 19 spots from his original starting position back in 27th. The next person closest to that would be Kevin Franks in 12th. Kevin, the number 98 at Ford F-150, he's up 16 spots from his starting position after having started this race dead last. So nice jump for Kevin so far.
Yeah, Kevin doing a great job up 16 spots like you just mentioned, but our hardest charger, number 5, Brendan Book in that Silverado, in 19 positions up from where he started in 8th place. So he is in the back of this freight train here for about 5th place between Ed Morris, James Holzer, Jordan McGraw, and Brendan Book.
Yeah, Brendan Book can make up 3 more spots right here, kind of all at once if he times it correctly. James Holzer looking low now on Ed Morris. James trying to get past the battered truck of Ed Morris. As they go down the front stretch, James is going to have to run off of turn 3. Jordan McGraw, Brendan Book are all going to use the draft to try to get him on past Ed Morris. So Ed Morris is going to kind of just sink to the outside here. No help for him whatsoever. He's going to drop a few more spots.
Yeah, Ed Morris not able to hold him off with that outside damage, that right side damage. Brendan Book to the inside, trying to push Jordan McGraw past him. Brendan Book is about to make the pass here in tunnel turn with 5 to go.
He does that indeed. As they stay side by side, though, Brendan Book and Ed Morris through the tunnel turn. Can Ed carry some good speed? Oh, looks like Jordan slightly tagged the wall off the tunnel turn, but it's not going to matter. The 2 trucks behind him are side by side. They're not going to carry or run. As you see Brendan drive deep into turn 3, it's not going to be enough. Ed Morris is going to stay right up side by side with him as they come off of turn 3. Where's the draft going to go? Jordan McGraw is going to pull over here in front of the 5 car, give him the draft that he needs to stay alongside Ed Morris as they come down to 4 laps to go, driving deep here into turn 1.
Yeah, coming out of turn 1 here, Ed Morris going to fall victim to Brendan Book, but Jordan McGraw here is in the driver's seat to pass James Holzer. James Holzer does have a little bit of rear end damage, just like I talked about. Jordan McGraw to the inside here in the tunnel turn, gonna be able to make that pass. Slides up in front of him, slide job here. Awesome textbook slide job. Mike Rominger and John Sterling are going at it. Rominger just passed Sterling there. That was your battle for 3rd going into turn 3.
Absolutely, you are correct there. So you see John Sterling having no choice but to give up that 3rd position to Mike Rominger. Ray Lane is now 1.2 seconds back of Nicholas Vroman. So we're going to go ahead and jump on board here, show you what a lap looks like with your leader and currently the fastest man on the track, Nicholas Vroman. You see right now he's just behind the, looks like maybe the number 36 truck of Rob Griffin. That is indeed as they go through the tunnel turn. So you see where Rob is struggling is definitely through the tunnel turn. He's not able to carry it all the way to the bottom, whether that's damage or his tires or just not the confidence in that turn that you need. And I'm not saying that as a knock on him, because I know I don't have the confidence to take to that turn. But so I speak from experience myself. And you see Vroman's able to get right up against that yellow line. It's very, very tough. But if you can get down there, you can make up quite a couple of tenths of a second through the tunnel turn alone.
That is correct, as we're on turn 1 of 2 to go here. We're only got 6 more turns in this race. 6 more left turns. You heard that right, Angel. Vroman putting on a clinic. 1 second lead over Ray Lane. Mike Rominger 6 seconds back. 4th place, John Sterling. 5th place, Jordan McGraw. Jordan has pulled away from James Holzer by about 2/10, so very interesting battle here. They are still only separated by about 4/10 of a second, 4 cars.
Yeah, I see Brendan Book. He is peeking. He is thinking about it. They are all going to be in a defensive position as they drive down into the tunnel turn. Who gets out of it cleanly? Looks like they're all going to make it through just fine. A little bit of a mishap maybe for Holzer and the number 7 of Ed Morris, but they'll be fine as they drive here down into turn number 3. Jordan McGraw holding on here to the top 5 that he is so desperately wanting. Can't blame him. He's had himself a nice run at a track like Pocono. It's very good for him. James Holzer, still your only 2-time winner in this series. Vroman looking to become the second driver to do so, as he has taken the white flag and he is on his way to win number 2 in the RICMOTECH Truck Series. We're focusing in here, though, on the battle for 5th. It's a tough one, but Mike Rominger and John Sterling are neck and neck as well for 3rd. See Nicholas Vroman coming through the tunnel turn there. Ray Lane about 1.7 seconds behind him. Nicholas Vroman's going to drive here into turn 3. Tanner, I'll let you have this one.
Alrighty, Nicholas Vroman coming out of turn 3, does not pull a Kyle Larson, doesn't blow a flat tire. Here he is, straight out of turn 3, checker flag in the air. Nicholas Vroman by about a second and a half. Ray Lane in second as we got a battle for 3rd heating up. Mike Rominger and John Sterling side by side. Mike Rominger will get it on the straightaway, Andrew.
Wow. Here comes Brendan Book and Jordan McCraw. Brendan Book is going to use the lap car for the run on Jordan. He's going to make the pass. James Holzer is able to hold off Ed Morris. Here comes Dave Elliott in 9th, 10th place for Michael Thwaites. Kevin Franks would move up 17 spots on the day, all the way up to 11th position from starting last. Nice jump from him. Although our ESBN biggest mover of the race, hardest charger award, goes to Brendan Book in that number 5 truck.
Yeah, he gained about 4 spots from the last time we looked at him when that 5-car Tango was going. He gained 4 spots with about 10 laps to go.
Well, I did tell you he had 3 more spots to gain, or 3 or 4 more spots to gain, and he could easily gain them, and he did just that. So he moves up to 22 spots gained on the evening. Big night for Brendan Book.
That is correct. Yeah, Brendan Book really strong tonight. Ed Morris falling back, Kyle Knapp falling back. They were dominant early on, but weren't able to close the deal. So, Angel, what you say you go ahead and get started on the results, and I'll get our interviews lined up.
Absolutely. We'll go ahead and bring in Mike Rominger, but while he brings everybody in, let's go ahead and give you the
user left your channel
results for today's race. Give it just a moment. All right, so that is qualifying. That is not the race for you guys. There you go. Nicholas Vroman, back-to-back winner here in the RICMOTECH Truck Series. He won 2 weeks ago. We were off last week. Ray Lane is going to finish second in his debut. Mike Rominger, nice, strong third-place finish for our Las Vegas winner. John Sterling comes home in 4th place. Not quite the top 3 he was hoping for, but a great run for John Sterling nonetheless. Brendan Book, your hardest charger, up in the 5th. Jordan McGraw's in 6th, James Holzer in 7th, Ed Morris in 8th, David Elliott finishes in 9th, and Michael Thwaites rounds out your top 10. Kevin Franks is 11th, Chris Akers in 12th, Don Milkowicz is in 13th, Joshua O'Connor Sr. in 14th, Kyle Knapp is in 15th. In 16th, you have Alan Hilton, Rob Griffin in 17th, Bryce Senesac finishes 18th, Jeremy Clifton, your pole sitter, would finish 19th after that heavy contact with the wall. Ryan Hoover's in 20th, Christian DeBauer 21st, Wallace Boyce rounds out into 22nd, Eric Driggins in 23rd, Tyler Dohar, after a lot of these drivers here towards the back involved in that first wreck, in 24th for Dohar, 25th for Christopher Bassinger, Daniel Holloway in 26th, Samuel Morris in 27th, and your Daytona winner Mike Franklin rounds out your field today. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe we should have Mike Rominger in the booth with us here.
That is correct. Here he is. Angel, take it away.
Mike Rominger, this is Angel and Tanner in the ESPN broadcast booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Mike, man, a fantastic race for you today. You really had to work for it, having started back in the 10th position, slowly working your way through the field at the end of the race. What was the plan going into tonight's race, and how well was it executed?
My plan was to, finish in the top 5. I didn't think I was a contender per se, but I just tried to, get myself in position to finish in the top 5, and we done that. So.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic job for you tonight, finishing here in the 3rd position. I'm sure you got a couple of people you'd like to thank before we let you go and let you celebrate this podium finish.
Yeah, I'd like to thank all of my teammates down in prime time. One of them helped me out. I was struggling through the tunnel turn there at the end, and I was trying to get around John, and he helped me out through the tunnel turn there, and I made the pass on him and got 3rd. So I appreciate that from the teammate, and you guys for putting up the broadcast, and Rick for putting up the league.
Well, Mike, I appreciate you very much coming on. Congratulations on your podium finish. Excuse me. We'll let you go. Go ahead and enjoy it.
All right, thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
Alrighty, Angel, and that was your 3rd place finisher of Mike Rominger. Something I forgot to tell you. I'm the only one that knows this in the booth right now. Top 3 were swept by Primetime Motorsports, all 3 teammates here. So, wow. Something to look forward to in the interviews, Angel. I forgot to mention that. As 2nd place, Ray Lane, this is Tanner now and Angel Santiago in the booth with ESPN. You got a copy?
Oh, yeah, I got you.
So, is this your first race with this league?
Yes, it is.
Alrighty, so congratulations on that 2nd place finish with your teammates here. Dominant performance you put on. Ed Morris was even up there with you for a little bit. Were you scared at all coming into this, knowing that you were going to start on the front row and to see what you had for these drivers in the long run?
I was kind of worried about the start because they said it started different than any other league I was in. So, but I'll take it. I mean, I raced against Nick in another league, so.
Well, Ray, I'd say you were the only person to start and finish in the same exact spot today. So doing so from 2nd place is pretty good, especially for your first race in this league.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
Well, Ray.
Alrighty. Ray, I have one question for you.
I got you. Go ahead.
So, whenever you were trying to battle Nicholas Vroman there was a few times that y'all swapped positions and then he pulled away from you. Was it because he saved more tires than you, or did you possibly have wall contact? I've noticed that you fell off just a little bit there at the end, but you had nobody else had anything for you other than Nicholas Vroman.
Well, I was trying to high line in turn 3, and I think I burned up the right front a little too much.
10-4 on that. So the tire wear came into play at the end. Ray, if you go ahead and give us your sponsors and shout-outs.
I just want to thank y'all for broadcasting the race and the league for putting it on and all my teammates.
10-4. So you heard it here first, folks. Primetime Motorsports podiums 1, 2, and 3. Ray Lane, have a good night.
You too, man.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, Angel, I will bring in our race winner, and he is all yours.
To your channel.
Nicholas, seems like we're making this a usual thing. This is Angel and Tanner in the ESPN broadcast booth. You got us?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, Nicholas, congratulations, back-to-back wins. I know the last one was 2 weeks ago, so it looks like you get to enjoy this back-to-back wins for a little longer than everybody else. So, what was the plan going into tonight? You weren't starting on pole. You had a Jeremy Clifton starting on pole today. What was the plan going into tonight's race? And I mean, I'd say clearly it was executed, but did you have to change your strategy going into tonight or at any point throughout the race?
Well, strategy going in tonight was definitely to get pole and lead every single lap, but so that didn't happen. So no, it was really was no strategy other than keeping the truck clean. At a place like Pocono, it's really easy to get into the wall, and once you do that, your race is pretty much done and over with. You had no shot of winning it. So we're just able to keep the truck clean and make some awesome passes throughout the night, and we just had track position at the end, clean air, and that's ultimately probably what won us the race.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably about what all happened to your teammate there, Ed Morse. He got himself into the wall pretty good, and really just it was the truck was never the same after that, because I think if Ray didn't have something for you, your teammate Ed definitely had an opportunity to get past you, I think.
Yeah, no, Ed had a good truck all night long. I do hate to see it for him. Hit the wall like that. I kind of rather, us three race it out. Because Ray, like you said, he had a great truck tonight as well. I feel like we us three pretty much had a kind of a pack of our own. I think I think we pretty much it was either going to come down to one of us, and I kind of wish all of us right there could have been there at the end. But yeah, tough break for him, Ed.
All right, well, Tanner, you got anything for our back-to-back winner here before we let him go on and celebrate?
Yeah, I need a appointment to book for consistency there, Mr. Verman. No, I'm kidding. Congratulations on the win here in virtual victory lane at Pocono Raceway. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, just to find out how good Nicholas Verman is.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Well, it's a pretty good season so far. I know you got a couple people you'd like to thank, and we'll send you off and let you enjoy this win.
Excuse me. Yeah, you guys up in the booth, man. I actually did some broadcasts in the past. I know it's a lot of work. A lot of work goes into it. So, shout out to you guys. It's always up in the booth. The admins up in the tower, watching these races, adminning them. And everybody on the track, it was a great race, racing with Clifton even. And, everybody up there in the beginning, it was a lot of good, clean racing. And the people out there watching, shout out to them as well.
Well, Nicholas, I'll say if you're ever interested in getting back in, we'd be happy to bring you on here with us here at the ESPN, and maybe give it a shot. Do it, everyone. Do a couple here and there, and see how much you remember you love it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Nicholas Vroman, your winner today in the RICMOTECH High Performance Truck Series. We had one caution all night, and that was before the race even started. And we basically went the next 85, 86 laps, green flag running. So from here, we'll go back here. Oh, I'm sorry, I pressed the wrong one. But nonetheless, you'll see the track temps actually dropped a little bit throughout the night. But not a problem at all. Tanner, what are your overall thoughts on the race? And we got another 2-week break here before we're back at it with these guys.
Yeah, very clean racing here tonight. And to be exact, we are going to be at, if you give me just a second here, we're going to be at Richmond Raceway Tuesday, December 14th. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to tune in Tuesday, December 14th at Richmond Raceway. Do a little bit of short track racing at that 0.7 mile track.
Man, I'm excited for that one. I do love Richmond. And these trucks here at Richmond are so much fun. So it'll be an exciting one, everybody. The series only has one race in the month of December. So please do not forget to come back here in 2 weeks. Same time every week. Make sure you get your... Well, it would be weekly feeling, but you're going to have to use it up for a month. So make sure you're here next week with us, or 2 weeks, I'm sorry, with us to watch the only race in December for the Extreme Motorsports RICMOTECH High Performance Truck Series. And with that, we are all set to go. Tanner, thank you for joining me here in the booth. Everybody out there watching, thank you for coming out, spending time with us, spending your Tuesday evening. My apologies. And I hope everybody has a great one. We will see you in 2 weeks, same time as always. From Richmond, this was Angel Santiago, Tanner Nowell from the Esports Broadcasting Network, a sim racing media company. Thank you, everybody.